We got slick words and hot topics, catch our sports vibe. Catch our sports vibe. Catch our sports vibe. Catch our sports vibe. We got slick words and hot topics, catch our sports vibe. Catch our sports vibe. Catch our sports vibe. Catch our sports vibe.
We out of pocket.
Welcome to the Out of Pocket Show, the show where we speak about topics of today, tomorrow, and yesterday. I'm your host, Big Money Mo.
I'm Peanut.
I'm Fresh.
So today we have a special guest. He's an actor, he's a comedian, he's also a writer. Please welcome Mr. Alex Thomas Jr.
Wow, you had to throw Junior in there. That's crazy. Very rarely anyone ever says Junior, but you must have just looked at my bio or something.
That is your name. So, first of all, I want to let you know that Out of Pocket, if you are asked a question that you don't want to answer, and whoever's asking you that question, you be like, Mo, you out of pocket. Therefore, you're off the hook.
That's funny. Okay.
Okay, so we don't get that. All right, so let's talk about you, Al. So you're from South Central.
Born and raised.
And we have two teams in LA, the Lakers and the Clippers.
Absolutely.
So how did you pick whoever team it is? You can tell us who that team is, and then how did you pick that team?
First of all, there's no such word as picked, okay? If you are born and raised in LA, like me, and you over 40 years old, ain't no such thing as picked. Are you serious? Picked? Like there was a draft or some shit? No. A real LA nigga is purple and gold. The Clippers will forever be the JV squad. I don't care what anybody says. You know, they've tried a billion times. They came close the last few years when they tried to throw teams together with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and all that kind of stuff. That was a nice little attempt. That was nice that they went and got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Maybe they thought that was going to work or something. But no, you see that. Lakers, world champions 2020. I'm not no bandwagon nigga. I'm born and raised in South Central. I got baby pictures in Magic Johnson jerseys, in like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jamal Wilkes, Byron Scott, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like I could really go there. I remember when the Clippers used to play at the sports arena, and nigga, there was leaks in the roof, and half the court was flooded. Like niggas what had to play a pro horse game. You remember horse? Yeah. On the basketball court, niggas played a pro horse game because it was only half a court. Okay, so it's Lakers all day, 365, 24/7, twice on Sundays. Okay.
So I guess it's safe to say that you're a Laker fan.
On my mama.
Oh my mama. So with that being said, can you pick your starting lineup out of all the NBA players, not just the Lakers, of course? Who's your main five?
You need to be specific with that question. Say that question one more time.
Who is your top five players
of all time?
Yeah.
Whatever.
If you have to start a team and you have to pick five people and one player coming off the bench, who would it be?
Okay. Not in any particular order, just I'm giving you my five. Yeah.
And the sixth man.
Okay. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is my center. My power forward would be Shaquille O'Neal. My other forward would be LeBron James. Okay. My other guard would be not my other guard. My shooting guard would be Kobe, and my other guard would be Michael Jordan. And then my sixth man, Mo might not want to hear this, but it would have to be Gary Payton. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Because that nigga was one of the greatest defensive players of all time. And with Kobe sitting down, GP would come in and be the floor general and know how to work it. He's a Hall of Famer also. I'm just being honest. That particular team, you could not lose.
So y'all go 82-0? Because that's the next question. You go 82-0?
I'll be honest, I think we would go 82-0. I'm not gonna lie, nigga, that is a perfect squad.
Hey, Alex, let me ask you, what was one of the funniest sets you worked on, and who was you working with?
Real hard, man. As far as sets goes, you got to think about it. I was a writer on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for 4 years. So being around Will Smith and that whole cast every single day of my life from 93 to 97, that was constant laughs from the minute I got out of my truck in the morning at 9 o'clock in the morning till showtime at 9 o'clock at night. It was just constant laughter. But then being around Jamie Foxx for years, being on the Jamie Foxx show for years, that was constant laughter also. So it was learning experiences, and it was just laughter, man. It's like a lot of times the biggest compliment I get is people will see old reruns from the Jamie Foxx show and be like, did y'all even read a script? I mean, was that freestyle? It just, people think it looked like we were having so much fun, and we really were. Obviously there was a script, but when you get a bunch of comedians together, it's like we just kind of go for it. You got to kind of stick to the script, but when you're with other comics bouncing off each other, it's a whole lot of takes. It was some tough calls for the directors because they're like, nigga, which one are we gonna go with? Every take was hysterical.
Right.
So what got you or led you into being a comedian? Or like what made you say this is the life for me?
Well, in my case, man, it was almost like in high school, I was best sense of humor, class clown, but it's not like I was trying to do that. It's not like September, I was like, nigga, vote for me in June. I will be the funniest. I am the class clown. Here's my sticker. Put it on your notebook. Like, no, I was just always, I was the silly nigga in the hood. There's a saying, Richard Pryor did a joke years ago, talk about when he went to jail. He's like, I had them niggas laughing to keep their minds off the booty, right? I was that dude in the hood. When I tell you I was really born and raised in this shit, like half my family's Crips, half my family's Bloods, I just happened to not get into it because my parents are like, you're not going to get shot and killed by the time you're 13. You're not going to be selling drugs like your cousin. You ain't going to go be buying guns like your cousin did when he was 16 and 17. I was just the silly dude that made everybody laugh. So that's kind of like how everybody liked me. You know what I mean? Not that I was trying to be. I wasn't 12-year-old saying I want to be a comedian. It just kind of happened that way, man. I never knew that eventually one day I would make millions of dollars being funny and being able to see the world and all that. I had no clue. It's like a lot of times you get guys that say, man, they were just doing what they love to do, and then it ended up being a career.
Right.
College didn't work out for me, bro. I went to college for 20 minutes. That shit did not work out for me. You know? I wouldn't say that to kids to tell them not to go to college. It's just it just didn't work out for me. You know what I mean? I wanted to. It was the goal, but I ended up being in the entertainment business, and then one thing led to another. Huh?
I said it worked out for you.
Yeah, man.
Alex, can you remember your very first joke on a stand-up, not at the house, but on your very first joke on stage?
I am not even gonna lie to you. I don't remember. I have people.
No?
Let me tell you something, Mo. I have stars coming. I'll never forget. I don't know if it was LeBron James or Dwayne Wade. One of the niggas came up to me one time. He was like, "Nigga, do you still do the joke about?" And I'm like, "How do you remember that joke?" Like, nigga, I was in 8th grade watching Comic View or Def Comedy Jam in '94, nigga. And I'm like, dude, I have to watch my own tapes to remember jokes that I did back then. Like, I talk that much shit that I would have to literally watch. I couldn't tell you what my first joke was, because when I first started, I was one of those young comics in the early 90s that it was kind of more my personality than my actual jokes. So that was just an extra tool I had on stage, where a lot of guys were just literally joke one, joke two, joke three. Good night. Like, no, man, I was always very physical with my jokes. It might have been something I did, like acted something out on stage, and niggas fell out laughing. So it wasn't even really what I said. It was me acting out something that I saw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always been a physical comic. If you look at any of my comedy specials or comedy shows, a lot of times I wasn't like this, like the Steve Harvey, Bernie Mac type style comic. It was just, I have a crazy ass observation of what I think is funny. And I just take real stories and I take real shit that happened to me in my life and it comes out on stage. Right. You know?
Let me ask you.
If that made any kind of sense.